Finally time for another update on the little ratty. It's been a while, but I've been busy getting shit done on other people's cars and keeping the cash coming in and taking care of business, but I've finally had a couple of days to work on this thing and start getting some stuff done on it. As you can see, the new motor's in, AU motor. A bit cleaner than the old heap of crap. You can see the turbo mounted down there, nice and low and snug, so I can put a heat shield over it all and hide it all from prying eyes. The motor's only bolted in at the moment. Haven't actually hooked anything up to it yet. No wiring, no plumbing, no nothing. It's just bolted in place. I've got the gearbox bolted to it. Still got to do the torque converter bolts. Organising the shifter linkage now. Which the whole column auto swap has been more than a little bit of a pain in the arse, because it's come out of an XH. The column itself is actually a bit longer. I'm not sure if there's any difference between the XH column and the EFEL as far as length, but the column shift XH column is about 30mm roughly longer, to add the extra length for the shifter mechanism. So yeah, that ended up being a complete pain in the arse. I pulled apart an EB column, tried to put all the XH shifter stuff on it. That was a fail. Tried putting EB stuff onto the XH column. That was a fail. Just Ford and their bullshit of changing things all the time is just fucking ridiculous. No wonder they went out of bloody business. You know, they have parts there that work and they go, oh no, we'll just bloody change it because reasons. So yeah, because of the column, I ended up having to swap out the entire steering rack for an EFEL XH type because they've got different bloody splines on them. If I can find... Here we go. That's the XH EFEL type. This is the EBED type. Chunky spline, fine spline. So you can't even bloody swap over the bottom half of the steering system. As well as that, EBED, thicker, EFEL, thinner. So I've had to swap the entire column, the entire rack, and I'll have to put this connection in there as well. Complete and utter pain in the arse. Luckily I had most of the bits already kicking around, which, you know, people say, why do you keep all this crap? It's like, well, it always comes in handy. But anyway, that did actually give me a slight benefit in that I'm not going to have to mess around with the EBED power steering lines to clear the turbo anymore, because the EFEL ones actually go closer to the block and lower. So that'll give me a bit more room without cooking bloody power steering lines. I'll still put a power steering cooler in it, because these things suffer from power steering heat issues even from the factory. You know, in a factory stock setup with no extractors, no nothing, they always have problems with bloody boiling power steering fluid. Whilst I had all the steering rack out, swapping all that crap around, I decided, bugger it, I'm going to do a few extra things while I'm under here since I've got them kicking around. Upper A-arms have now got new Super Pro bushes that I had left over from another project. I actually ended up with 2 sets in a kit and ended up with lower control arm set missing, so yeah, eBay sellers, great. But you know, I ended up using them in this, so they did come in handy. Also used a set of stub axle assemblies that I did for a customer a while back, without realising that his car had ABS, and these are non-ABS stub axles, so yeah, a bit peeved about that as well. Ended up, you know, pressing in all the brand new ball joints and that, and complete waste of time. Ended up having to pull his stub axles out, pull off the brakes, clean it all, press out the old bushes, put in new bushes, reassemble it all. So yeah, 3 hours worth of work wasted on these, but you know, as I said, they're now being used in little ratty, so I guess it wasn't a waste. Let's see if I can get the... Oh yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you can kind of see a new ball joint in there as well. New rack end boot. The other one was split. Eventually I'm going to have to do something about these lower arm bushes, because they're getting pretty flogged out. Sway bar link bushes are actually surprisingly okay for the time being. Eventually I might get a new set of Super Pro or Nolothane or something for it, since they're only about $20 a kit. Gave it a good clean under here. Once it dries out, I'll hit it with just some cheap gloss black just to tidy it up a little bit. And to give you an idea of what it looked like before, and there's my intercooler piping disappearing into the engine bay. That's pretty much what it looked like before. It is a country car, but geez, it was dirty under here. The bloody K-frame's got inch thick of mud and dirt and crap in it. Let's see if I can get it to focus a bit. There we go. Look at all that crap built up in there. And then, you know, these ball joints were pretty much shagged anyway. Let's see if I can get this. There you go. It's the lower ball joint on the right. It's pretty much rooted anyway, so not that much of a loss to put the new arms, new axle assemblies on there, and gave the bearings a quick repack while I was there, even though they haven't done any Ks. But yeah, it's starting to get there. I'll finish off this side tomorrow, get the steering column in, get it all hooked up, get the lines in, power steering lines, and then it'll be time to put the bonnet on and push it out for another few days while I get some more stuff done on other people's cars. Hopefully next week I'll get a chance to get back into this and start getting a few things finished off and finalised, like for instance the bloody intercooler pipe go from here to here. I'm gonna have to bend I'm gonna have to bend the intercooler pipe there a bit more on a 90 instead of a 45, and then make up a pipe to come from the turbo into there, Haven't exactly worked that out yet. And then yeah, plumbing, wiring, all the usual. Maybe, hopefully, end of next week I might have it fired up. Mind you, every time I say next week, shit pops up and I end up waiting 2 or 3 months before I can get back into this thing. You know, it should have been done mid-year, but when everything else keeps popping up and got to pay bills and that, it's not much you can do about it. But anyway, that's the update for now. Catch ya.